Hi everyone, I'm Irina Baker, also known as Life-Changing Wizard, and I'm here doing a Google Hangout with a very good, very happy, and very wonderful client of mine. And he's going to introduce himself, and we're going to talk about his incredible journey within. And this time I'm making an exception. I'm not going to make teaching points as I usually do with Google Hangouts. I just want to hear everything he has to say, and I hope that you will be inspired, motivated to change your life how he changed his. And the power is always with us. The power is personally with you right now, and you are the power, and you can utilize it at any moment by making the choice, setting the intent, and taking the first step towards your power. And so Joshua will tell you all about it, how he took power in his own hands, his destiny, his life, and he turned his life around. So, hi, Joshua.
Hi, Irina. How you doing?
I am great. I'm so happy to see you here at this Google Hangout. And please tell us about yourself, your business. Let's give your website, give your name, and all this stuff.
Yeah, my name is Joshua Hadley. I'm 34 years old, and I've been an entrepreneur for the last 11 years. And I built a company from nothing to Inc. 500 the last 4 years, and then I unfortunately got sick, and have spent the last year working from home and trying to, maintain the sickness. And that was when I came into, I guess, contact with Irina, and I was searching for all kinds of solutions to my illness, searching for solutions to my mental issues, to issues with family members, etc. And I started reading a book about past life regression, and I started searching for who I felt would be the right fit for me to work with, and my energy seemed to resonate with Irina. We seemed to be on the same page and headed in the same direction in life, and so that's who I chose to work with. And I was in a very, very dark place, as she can testify, that I was very, very close to death, physically and spiritually. So I have a lot of gratitude for, towards her and for all the work that she does and the commitment that she has for her clients and for their progress. So that's me in a nutshell, I guess.
I thought you would just advertise yourself for a moment to give your website and to talk about your business, but you already started. So it's your choice right now if either we continue with your healing journey or you want to still say anything about your business.
Yeah, I'll throw in a commercial real quick. My first company was called Now Communications. The website is workwithnow.com. We were a sales organization. You can check us out there. I also have started a new venture called Farmers Brand, where we have a world-class fertilizer product. You can check us out there at www.farmers-brand.com. Amazing fertilizer product that we hope will help change the world and bring a lot more beauty to our planet that we have here.
Very good, thank you. Okay, let's start. Well, the first thing is you had to trust me at the beginning to even open up and to start healing yourself. So you already mentioned you came to me in a pretty severe condition. And you actually introduced this thing for me that we started checking all the time on a scale from 1 to 10, and I loved it now, and now I use it with everybody. I've known about it before, it wasn't my technique per se. So, and you started telling me on a scale of from 1 to 10, this is my condition right now. So tell everybody on the scale from 1 to 10, before we started working, what was your number?
On the scale of 1 to 10, my number was probably almost nothing, almost zero, from a spiritual standpoint as well as from a physical standpoint. I was always very, very close to death and fighting with it, going to the hospital quite a bit. And I didn't see how my mental, physical, and spiritual things connected very well. I always felt like you could segment those parts of your life and work on them one at a time. But I really came to know that it's very, very different than that.
Right, because you came to me with a severe physical issue, but obviously I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying or attempt to heal anything physically. So we went deeper. We went into emotional realm, subconscious, unconscious mind, levels of the mind, and you actually prove to yourself that when you do that, when you approach the problem from the spiritual and emotional standpoints, you will definitely improve physically. So it's all connected and you cannot separate them, right?
Absolutely. It's all due to the vibration. You know, we had that discussion at first. When I first said that to you, you know, I know I need to raise my vibration in order to heal my body. I really didn't know that. I felt it, and I kind of analytically knew it, but I didn't really know it for sure that that would actually help heal my body. And I absolutely know that for sure now. It's all about raising your vibration. It's all about focusing on the spiritual side of life, because we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, not the other way around, even though we like to think it's the other way around. We like to think we can reduce everything to a number and predict life. And life is not about predicting things. It's about creating what you want.
Right. And so you improved. Well, every week we would meet, and everything was done on the phone. And every time we would meet on the phone, you would tell me what progress you've made during the week, and I would be amazed and amazed and amazed, even though I got used to hearing it, hearing that people get accelerated progress and benefits. But still, every time it's just close to my heart to really hear the new benefits, the great results, because it's your life and you want it to be so beautiful and happy instead of struggling and suffering. And I even noticed, since we didn't see each other very often, we saw once at the beginning, and we're seeing each other right now, and I commented on your face, because how amazingly the face change, and it's also normal with the process, because when we met at first, everything seemed dark, very dark around the face, and energy was very dark. And now you're really glowing, and right now you will say something, people are going to look and see you're really glowing. Light is around your face, and it's true. And do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. I'm very, very grateful I'm grateful, number one, for the journey. I'm grateful, number two, for meeting you in the process, because you're the perfect person to guide me in the process. And I absolutely was in a dark place. I felt in a dark place. I didn't want to be in that place. I felt like I wasn't meant to be in that place, and that I needed this severely. And I would recommend that anyone that's looking for progress in their life, this has been the most impactful and probably the most accelerated way of progressing my life that I've ever experienced. And I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on books, seminars, trainings, you name it. And this, to me, has been the best money spent, because we focused on the things that really matter in life. And we get instead of getting this logical perspective, this fear-based reality that we all seem to be stuck in, I don't fear anything anymore. I used to have just massive amounts of fear around money, around health, around raising children, or whatever it was. I was motivated by fear. Now I'm not motivated by fear. I'm motivated by love. And that's such a much better place to be, because now, is another benefit. I don't usually reach out to my neighbors because I was so focused on my issues. And the other day, my neighbors just moved in. I ran over there without even thinking about it, and I just introduced myself and got to know them, and welcome to the neighborhood. And that's not something I've ever done in my life, and I was motivated purely by love, purely to make the world a better place for my neighborhood and for my neighbors. And that to me is what this work is all about, is making the world a better place for all of us, not just myself.
Right, right. Okay, let's move into the definite results that you've achieved. So the first question is, let's talk about emotional well-being. You already started talking about fears, and what else have you experienced while during this work? And we spent a few months together, just for everybody to know, um, one-on-one and in a group setting as well.
Yeah, I think one of the greatest things was normally if I'm left with my children and my wife goes off with her friends or she goes out for a weekend seminar or something, I'm counting the seconds to this when she gets back because I'm already stressed out when she's been gone for a couple hours, and I'm calling her going, okay, when are you going to be home? Because this isn't me. I can't deal with this. I'm not a raiser of children. And she took off one weekend for a seminar, the whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it was and I wasn't really feeling that well health-wise, but I was feeling very well emotionally and spiritually. And I was able to have the most beautiful time with my children the whole weekend, and I didn't think for 1 second about when my wife was going to be home. I was just there. We were being together. We enjoyed each other. We went out and did things together. And I didn't worry about anything. There was no fear involved in it. Like I needed to hurry up and get my wife there so that I can focus on, making more money or focusing on cleaning the garage or whatever it was. It was just a beautiful experience being present with my children. And they loved it as well, and it brought us so close together. And now that's the way it is all the time. It's a permanent result. It's not a okay, you felt good for one moment. I have this permanently now in my life. So the fear's gone. Now I can operate in a different way because the fear is no longer controlling me.
Would you say you became closer to children because of your internal work?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Every one of them is responding to me differently. They want to spend more time with me. They want to ask me more questions. They are showing more love to me, and I to them. And so to me, it's a beautiful, beautiful experience. That alone is worth whatever amount of money I paid, to be a part of this, and the time I had to spend to be a part of this. Just having those relationships be stronger and better in my life, because not only have I not had that till now, I never had that with my parents, and it's a generational issue that we're breaking a cycle right now. And to me, that's something you can't put a price on. Period.
That's right. That's right. And you mentioned even dog responds differently. Is that true?
Oh yeah, the dog now wants to come sleep next to me on the bed, where before the dog knew I was the head of the pack, and I gave off kind of a negative energy towards the dog sometimes, and so the dog would never try to sleep in our room, let alone on our bed. And the dog actually protected Brooke, one of my daughters, every night would sleep in her room. And for whatever reason, over the last few months, she's been coming in our room, sleeping in our bed, and it has nothing's changed. I'm still my stern self, other than I'm emotionally stable and spiritually, my vibration is different.
Mm-hmm. So your vibration is definitely different, and everything changed in your life because of that. We're not planning on, we haven't planned any questions, so as I mentioned to you before, feel free to say something or not say something because we are on air. And so I wanted to ask you, so you feel free to just brush off some questions that I asked. That's okay, totally okay. So how about your family? When you started sessions with me, you started working with me, you mentioned that they didn't believe. So did anything change then, now?
Yeah, my father didn't really, I mean, he was supportive, but his religious training said, this is kind of outside his comfort zone, and he was okay with me doing it, but it wasn't like, oh well, I don't think I would ever participate in something like that. I'm not comfortable with that. Now he's said to me, I don't know whether he will or he won't, but he said, I really need to do this. And so for him to say something like that, it's obvious, because I didn't say he needed to do it. He saw what changed in me that said he needed to do it. My wife, she at first was very not resistant, but very put off by the idea because of the religious background we come from. And now she says, wow, it's amazing the change in you. I totally accept what you've done, and maybe someday she will feel a need or a desire to do so as well. So yeah, absolutely. Everyone around me has seen the change. They've seen the difference in me. They've seen how I've gone from a person of just complete anger and fear to a person of love and accepting other people and loving and accepting myself. And that's more powerful of a testimonial than you can give for anything, is seeing that difference in someone.
Exactly. And I like the phrase how you said it. I think these are your exact words. From fear and I think it was resentment to amazing level of peace and contentment. Do you remember those words?
Yeah, fear and anger to love and acceptance is what I said. Yeah.
Fear and anger to amazing level of peace and acceptance. All right. And you also were able to confirm your life mission. You already knew it, but was it good to really discuss that and work on that and confirm and know exactly without a shadow of a doubt this is what you're here to do?
Yeah, it's amazing. You kind of can't believe it at first, but once your mind and even your soul really works with the concept that you come across, mine was to bring the message of love to the planet, basically. And I really, really love it. I don't know how it's going to be achieved, but I've got it inside of me, knowing that that's what I'm supposed to do. So now, everything I do, I infuse that energy into it. And when you infuse that energy into it, that's how I think it's going to manifest. Is really, I don't think about things in terms of profits and sales and profits. I think of things in terms of energy and love, right? And if I infuse things with that energy, no matter what it is, I'm going to fulfill that mission, whatever scale I can fulfill it on. So I really feel like it's the fuel that gets me out and gets me motivated every day, and I'm excited. Everything I do, I'm excited about doing it. Even the remodeling that's going on in my home right now, I'm down there helping the guys. I'm cleaning up the stuff so that they can keep moving and get the job done quicker, and I'm infusing them with love and telling them they're doing a great job. And that's not me before. I used to be, when are you going to get this done? Now I'm like, man, you're doing a great job. That's a beautiful work. Two different types of phrases there. So it's really just been magical, as what I can describe it as, the change in who I am with that mission, knowing what my mission is.
Right, and wouldn't you say that you're more confident now and more, because I remember everybody in a group setting said, I feel more confident about my next steps or whatever needs to be done. Would you say the same thing?
Absolutely. I've always considered myself a confident person, but it's a whole new level of confidence. It's a level of confidence that you don't have to question, because sometimes you're confident and you go, wait, can I really do that? Or wait, is that really the way this needs to go? And you might say things that shouldn't actually come to pass, or won't actually come to pass. But I'm very, very integral with my word at knowing that mission is the underlying foundation of who I am now. So the confidence has a foundation now that can't be rocked. It's a rock solid foundation, having that as part of my character.
That's right. And from that, business is changed, and different aspects of business. You approach your partners, you approach your finances, you approach all aspects of your business differently. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And you, as anyone in business knows, it's chaotic. And when things are chaos, it can create a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety. And you have to be the eye of the storm when you're a business owner. You have to be not in the chaos. You have to be the one taking the chaos and creating order out of it. And when you're in a fear-based mode or an anxiety-based mode, it's very, very hard to do that. But with the foundation, it's so much easier. Now you can go out and operate in business and see things in a way, a solutions-based mindset. Now I'm not focused on the problem or the issue. I'm focused on the solution, only the solution. And I don't ever fear focusing on the solution. Sometimes you focus on the solution, you feel like, oh, I should be spending a little more time worrying about this or worrying about that. You can't worry about stuff. You have to focus on the solution. And that's really where the power in business has come, is now I'm vibrating at a higher level. I'm attracting better partners. I'm attracting better opportunities. I am, I don't feel a need to manipulate or coerce people to do things. I convince by my vibration, and it's a much easier flow. It's like before I was climbing a mountain, and now I'm flowing in a river wherever the water takes me.
And you mentioned before, a long time ago, that before you would chase goals and you would still feel unsatisfied, and now it's a different feeling. Could you comment on that?
Yeah, so I would chase goal. Once you got to the goal completed or you achieved it, at the end of the rainbow there was no pot of gold. There was no satisfaction, and you just didn't love yourself at the end. Not loving yourself at the end of the day gave you this empty hole inside you. And when I started to love and accept myself more and the vibration would raise, now it's like the satisfaction is there all the time, and I don't need to be chasing something for the satisfaction or for the acceptance of myself. I feel accomplished and achieved all the time, and that makes me achieve more.
Mm-hmm. Right. And you also, when you were talking about solutions, the creative ideas come to your head easily, right? Creative ideas just pop up, so to speak, and you have them. And you told me that before you would look for opportunities and you couldn't find, or maybe people or whatever, in your words, and now it just suddenly they show up. You don't even look for them, and they just show up.
Yeah, absolutely. Before I was very good at forcing things to happen, and so I would go out and look for deals, look for opportunities, look for business partners, and I would find all kinds of things, but I would find the wrong kinds of things, things that weren't good for my life, things that would cause all kinds of issues, and I felt like I had to force it to happen. If this isn't going to happen, I'm going to force it to happen. And now it's like, no. I've had all kinds of goals that through this process that I've had for years that I've just dropped and said, you know what, that's a worthless goal. That's not worth my time, and it doesn't match my vibration. And so, I'm focused on goals that actually match my vibration rather than goals that just make me money or just, check off a check mark on my list. It's not about that anymore. It's about the impact that I can have through what I'm doing. And so that's such a better place to be, such a better place to operate from in business. And like you said, I am attracting new people, new opportunities that I wasn't before. And these are very high level. These are the best of the world. I'm connected with some of the greatest business people on this planet now. And before, if I tried to force that, those people don't want to be connected with someone who's forcing it. Their vibration's very high, and you got to match their vibration, or they won't do business with you.
Right, and they accept you as equal. They really accept you in all ways, right? So it's a good feeling to be, because you don't have to hide, you don't have to pretend. It's who you are. This is your vibration, and when it matches, you're being accepted, right?
Yeah, so instead of doing what most people in business say, fake it till you make it, I'm not faking it. I am this. This is who I am. I'm not going to go into a room and fake it and hope that they don't see through me. And no, this is who I am. You're seeing what you're getting, and I'm not any different when you close the door than when I'm, here in front of you. So that gives people a whole new level of confidence to work with me and to do business with me, because now they know, what I see is what I get with Joshua.
And they might not know it consciously, but they read. We all read energy. We all scan energy of each other, and we either feel that we can trust or we don't. So you don't have to explain it to them. They know because they just read the energy.
Yeah, my energy creates trust for them. Absolutely. Whereas
Right.
before, my words had to create it.
Big difference.
Yes.
And I was just listening to you right now, and what came to my mind is a businessman whose life mission. Would you like to share? And you don't have to if you don't need, don't want to, but your life mission, and put your life mission with the business. That's the new generation of business to me. That's the enlightened business.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think, where the social entrepreneur was born, was people started matching their missions with their business ventures. And so it's kind of going from the old school to the new school. My life's mission came to me in this process of to bring the message of love to the planet. That's my life's mission. That's why I'm here on this planet, and to bring that message to people, however, whatever vehicle I have to do so. And I can honestly say every person I run across now, I genuinely have the vibration of love for them, and I have compassion for them. And it doesn't mean I have to stop my whole life and fix their life for them, but it means I can feel that for them, and I can hold the energy for them in that space so that they can feel it when they're in my presence. And the more people I can do that for, the more impact I can have on the planet, and the better the world will be, and the better my life will be because of it.
And I remember you said it when I asked you what is it that you really want from working with me, and then you said, yes, I want to be present in the room and people would start healing and changing. And it's true, because that's what people do. We affect each other by vibration, by the light, and the brighter your light is, the more effect on people you have. So you spreading your love, by loving yourself, by accepting yourself, spreading this love to others, and their lives change. So that's a noble mission to have. And like I said, especially by being an entrepreneur, because it's not all about money. It's not all about, even though they say, yes, the business has to be profitable, but when you make your focus your soul mission to spread love, and then the money has to follow, and it does follow. Don't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. It just changes the focus from net profits to, you know, what is the impact that my business has, and is that impact match who I am? And if that impact doesn't match, then you need to find a different business. You're not in one that's going to work for you, and it's not going to make you happy or fulfilled long term. You might make some money, but you know, we've all made money in ways that we're not very happy about. You know, and that's where I feel like we can really create value for this world, and it has to be focused on creating value for people. You know, when you're focused on creating value, then you don't focus on the profit will happen. You'll find a way to make things profitable if it's going to create value for people. And that's what every big, you know, venture capital firm does, is they find something that's valuable to people. Facebook wasn't profitable for a long time, but it was valuable to people, and they found a way to make a profit out of it eventually. It took them 5-6 years before they even started making money, but now they're massively successful. But it provides a lot of value for people. People share a lot of great information on Facebook. It makes the world a better place. You know, for a lot of us. For some of us it doesn't, but a lot of us it makes the world a better place. So I mean, that's the way you really got to start viewing. People got to start viewing entrepreneurship. Is it's not about just making a profit, or just the bottom line net profits you can make. What kind of impact are we making? And does that match who I am? If that does, great, let's go for it. We'll make it really big, really fast. It'll be awesome. So that's how I view it now, instead of just putting money in my pocket.
Right, right. And It's noble. I can say it's noble and spiritual. That's what we do. We bring spirituality into business and merge it together, and it's a new generation, new vibrational jump, quantum leap in vibration for everybody.
Absolutely.
And finances, again, if you don't want to say anything, that's fine with me. Anything you want to mention, maybe in general terms, that's fine too. So what would you say about your finances?
I'd say just my viewpoint of my finances has changed significantly. Um, like I said, it was a fear-based system that I was around before, and I would try to make tons of money, but I would never spend any of it. I would just sock it away and sock it away, and then, buy this or that if we needed it and pay the bills. But I was very fear-based about my money. I didn't want to lose it. I didn't have an abundance mentality. Now I've stepped in that realm of abundance where it's, you know what, it's fine. I'll spend everything in my bank account, but I'll go make more. I'll go find a way, for God to be my source and allow that money to continue to flow, because it doesn't matter. I mean, it all came from Him anyway, and He can turn it off. And the way He turns it off is fear. When we have fear and anxiety around money, we're telling God we don't want more money. I don't want more of this. Gives me fear and anxiety. But when we love money, we have a great relationship with it, which is what's changed for me, my relationship to it. Even though I made lots of money, it's like now I can utilize it in a whole different way so that it makes a big impact on my wife, my kids, my family, and my businesses. It's not, okay, let me see how much I can hoard, let me see how much I can sock away, because what if everything falls apart? Well, to me now, I used to sit in front of CNBC at least 2 hours a day, if not an hour a day, and analyze stocks, analyze the directions of the economy, see if I could predict things. And everybody in New York, when I go out there in New York, everybody's trying to predict where the economy's headed. If you know who you are, and you know who you are as a spiritual child of God, you do not care where the economy's headed, because you're going to create it wherever you go, whatever you need, or whatever you want. You're going to manifest it. And that's the difference, that I sit in that place now, instead of sitting in a place of fear and anxiety around my money and it paralyzing me. It now is giving me freedom. And it doesn't matter, I really know that I can just go create whatever I need, whenever I want, even with the health challenges that I face, all the time.
How about that tile story? That was so cute. Do you want to share at least some of it?
I'm trying to remember what I said. You have to jog my memory on that one.
Well, the tile story, when you got the heater leaking and you were running around the town, and how you were looking at changes, and how your whole perception was money-wise as well.
Yeah. So okay, I get what you're saying now. So our water heater broke, and Irina and I discussed it was probably my archangel that busted my water heater, because he said your house isn't matching your vibration right here, so let's break it and make you fix it. So I picked out some tile, and my wife hadn't really been involved in the decision-making process. The next morning she says, we got to change everything. We want something a little bit nicer, and so let's go find something. So in the past, I would normally just force it, right? I would just force it and say, nope, I already made the decision, you're going to have to live with it. But instead I said, you know what, let's go look for something, because I'm okay with something nicer as well. So we go all day long, 8 hours all day long, looking for something, and some frustrations come into play. And I was only going to spend $1 a square foot. Well, next thing I know, the thing that matches my vibration is $3.55 a square foot. And I felt comfortable buying it. I felt comfortable going and getting it, because it's like, this does need to match my vibration. This does need to, I do need to surround myself with things that match that, not just because the cost is there. I need to have the fear force me to buy something cheap. And that was so empowering for me, because I'd never done that before. And not only have I not done that before, no one in my family's ever done that before. I have no example to go by or model to say, hey, this is what you should do, and so it's not like it's something someone said, hey, yeah, your dad did that, so you need to have just what your dad has, just as good as him. My parents don't have the kinds of things that I have, and have never told me that I needed that. They've always been very, very, very frugal and always lived in a fear-based, reality around money. So that was awesome for me and very empowering for me to go out and do that and have that experience.
And also, before maybe you would be angry about even driving, you said you would quit after 2 hours, and here you spend whole day, right?
Oh yeah, if I couldn't make a decision after going to 2 places in the past, if we couldn't find what we needed at 2 places, I would be very frustrated and say, you know what, that's it, let's just make a decision and move forward. I spent easily 8 hours, if not 9 hours that day, which is a full day's work, going out just trying to find the right tile for the house. So yeah, absolutely. Not only that, I would have been very severely frustrated with my wife because, not to say I didn't get a little frustrated part of the day, but we kept going. We kept doing it, until we found what matched. So yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
you're human, and those feelings will still be there, but it's how you react or how you look at the situation and how you control yourself and how you're not being just the victim of your anger or your feelings. You know how to handle them. So that's a big difference, right? You will not be sane completely. You still will feel basic human emotions. That's normal. We are humans.
Yeah, I had some emotions come up throughout the day, but I apologized for them, and we mended it real quickly and moved forward and just kept marching on. And for me, shopping in the past, shopping for stuff, created a lot of fear and anxiety, because it was about spending money. Now it's an enjoyable experience. Hey, yeah, let's go out and let's go shopping. Let's get the things that we need and things that we want. And I've stopped thinking about buying things I need. I'm now thinking about I got to buy things I want. My spirit deserves this soul deserves some stuff. And I love and accept myself at a level now where I'm allow myself to want those things and to go get the things that I want, not just the things that I need, not just things that fulfill the 7 basic needs in life, right? Food, love, and shelter, right? That I'm going to go get what I want.
And the high vibration is expensive, darn it.
It is, but it's fun. It is, but it's fun. Like it's a much funner place to be than being in fear. Yeah.
And also, here is the difference, and you're saying it, and I want everybody to really pay attention to that. When somebody shops, a lot of time people will buy something expensive, but they will buy it with fear, right? And they will say, I deserve it. But really, do they really feel it? They might not, if it doesn't come from that high vibration. So when your vibration changes and you really know it on intrinsic level, it's not something that you logically are telling yourself, I deserve it. That's usually a phrase. When I hear it, I know somebody has to persuade themselves that they deserve it, because you don't even need to say it. You just know it's good for you. You want it, you will get it.
Yeah, we sell ourselves on all kinds of stuff that doesn't match what we want, and when we really listen intuitively to what we want, it's very different than what we tell ourselves we want, because really listening comes from the heart. As part of this regression therapy, you really learn how to listen to your soul, and instead of listening to your brain and listen to the voice in your head. I had to stop listening to that voice in my head and start listening to my soul. It's a very different place because it's a feeling first, and then information comes from the feeling. And that's what I call being in the flow. Michael Jordan really talked about it when he would visualize hitting the last second shot a lot of times, and then the opportunity came, he had already hit that shot so many times before in his mind. It was in the flow. It was easy. You know, I'm going to shoot the shot. I have no fear or anxiety about it at all because it's in my soul. I'm listening to my soul. And Michael Jordan operated as a basketball player, as an artist, you know, and as a person who was expressing what was in his soul. And that's really what this is out. It frees you up. This sort of therapy frees you up to express what's in your soul, rather than blocking it by being analytical and thinking about, you know, logically I should do this. Throw the logic out the door and just feel it.
I could never say it better about therapy and you saying it. That's so great. Now let's move to the physical side of the things. First of all, your relationship with food.
Yeah, I grew up eating things that were not good. I mean, the vibration of the food that I ate was low. We ate a lot of pastas, we ate a lot of bread, we ate a lot of potatoes and meat, not a lot of fruits and vegetables, which that's what we needed. Well, later on that manifests as health problems if that's the way you eat. And I manifested Crohn's disease in my early 20s. When I was 24 years old, I started to have severe symptoms of Crohn's disease. And 25 years old, I had to have my 13 inches of my small intestine removed. I was okay for a few years after that, but that progressed into complications with my right kidney, complications with malabsorption. I was 100% anemic sometimes. I had doctors tell me that I was a walking corpse, that I was barely alive. And I felt that way a lot of times. I felt like the only thing that was keeping me alive was the fact that my soul wasn't going to let go of the body, and that there was something more for me to do here. I remember a lot of times feeling like I just got to hang on for my kids. I got to just hang on for my wife. I gotta make some money and set them up so that life is good for them. And I many times felt like I was going to pass away very soon. I don't feel that way anymore. You know, I don't have that fear-based reality around my health anymore. But yeah, I did. My food choices have switched to fruits and vegetables, a lot of greens, you know, a lot less meat, sometimes almost no meat for weeks at a time. It's great, and I feel way better, and I have lots more energy, and you know, a lot more enthusiasm and love for the things that I do, you know, because of it. And I get up every day with optimism in my mind. I think a lot clearer. I think a lot quicker. I make decisions faster. My IQ has probably gone up 20 points from that. So you know, there's a lot of benefits to, you know, changing your food choices as part of this therapy.
That's right. That's right. And when you change your vibration by removing the blocks that are holding you back from the subconscious mind, well, the choice, the food choice is not anymore the matter of logic, but the matter of your body is needing it already. It's just the body, you start craving those things, and you told me that you started craving green juice. Something is missing if you don't drink green juice, right?
Yeah, I mean, before it tasted disgusting, and it was like you know, drinking grass, and you know, I was like, okay, I got to eat something better after that to, you know, make it taste good. And now it's, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I used to struggle hard with, okay, if I drink a green drink, then I need to eat some chips after that, or I deserve, you know, I suffered through it, now I deserve a piece of pizza, you know. And now it's like, no, I don't even want a piece of pizza. That's disgusting. You know, give me a green drink right now, you know. And you do feel like something's wrong if you don't have a green drink that day, you know. And before it was like, man, you have to force that stuff down my throat, you know. So much different place to be. Now I go to the restaurant and I order a salad. I've never done that before, and I want the salad. I don't just order it because I feel like I should. I'm ordering because I want to eat it. I actually want to eat a salad.
Aren't you amazed with yourself?
It's amazing, because before I would want a steak, or I'd want steak and potatoes, or I'd want barbecue, or whatever it was that tasted good. I never felt good after eating it, but it tasted great for the moment. You know? But I guess, again, that's all fear-based. You know, you're afraid, oh, tomorrow if I can't have something good, then tomorrow I can't taste that, or tomorrow, what if I lose? You know, it's all fear-based, I think. You know?
And how about your medication?
Medication's been great. I have not had, I think it's almost 6 days in a row now, I haven't had to have any medication to go to sleep. And that was probably about a 6-year time period where my nerves were so shot that I had to have something medicative to help me go to sleep and to make it through the night so that I could get up and function the next day. 6 nights without any medication of actual sleep like I slept when I was a little kid, it's been pretty much a miracle. That's all I can describe it as, because no doctor had a solution for that other than medication. Not even a naturopathic doctor had a solution for that. So, you know, that's an amazing result, you know, that I didn't feel like I was ever going to have at the time. So I really have to thank you and you know, express my gratitude for the commitment you have for your clients, because that wouldn't have happened without your commitment.
And for the record, as I told you many times, you've heard me, I'm not taking credit for your amazing healing, because yes, I'm a facilitator and I've been here every step of the way with you, but guess who did the work? You, Doug, as I always say, you, Doug, you made that commitment and you followed through. You really did everything possible, because you have to show up for the sessions, you have to be fully present, and you told me, go do, how did you say it, let's do it, go deep, don't even think about, don't hesitate. And I say, oh yeah, great, let's do it, because I like clients, or I love clients who really are committed and really want to do the best, take the best out of the experience, because your life changes, and that's what happened to you. So we both did the work. I facilitated and your power took over, and you really got results.
Yeah, I'd say anybody that does this work, when you feel the fear, you know, or anxiety towards what you're doing, that's when you need to go like a rocket into the fear. You need to face the fear, because that's where the transformations start to happen. If you go into the fear and then you back off, then you're not going to get the results you want. You're not going to see the transformation that you want. So you really have to face all those fears that are deep down inside of you, you know, all those things that you don't want to deal with that are deep inside you, and let them happen. Let the process, you know, go through the process, go through the pain, because on the other side of that is this amazing person that you're going to become. And you really just got to be focused on that you're going to have these amazing results. You're going to become an amazing person on the other side of this. And that's the person you're meant to be on this planet, not a person that operates out of fear or is stopped by the fear. If you're stopped by the fear, you know, you need to really take a hard look in the mirror and say, do I really want the results that I say that I want? And if you can't say confidently yes, then you're not strong enough. You know, you need to say, hey, I need to dig down deep and find some strength to face the fear, dig real deep, find all the issues, and deal with them. When you do that, they're gone. Eventually they're gone, and you don't have to deal with them anymore. And then you become this transformed human being that can really make an impact.
Right. And how about your generally physical well-being? Remember how you would tell me, I think it was the second week of our working together, and you said, while the session continues, my pain is 0 when the pain was continuous before, and then during the week the pain was 2, and you gradually, you know, you were healing, and then you would have problems and continue. So physical, of course, is the last thing to heal, because first you work on emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies, and then physical body is catching up. So where are you right now in terms of physical health?
On a scale of 1 to 10, my health is probably a 7 right now, whereas we were at 1 or less than 1 before. I still have a little ways to go, but I know I'm going to get there. I feel like tomorrow I can go play basketball, whereas before I felt like probably a few hours from death all the time.
Well, we've been together 4 months, working 4 months, and to say for many people who might hear it and being in such a pain and horrible condition, healing this physical condition, in 4 months from 0 to 7, that's pretty dramatic, don't you think?
Yeah, it's absolutely a miracle. I mean, there's no book I could have read. There's no doctor I could have gone to. There's nothing. This is the only work I can testify and say, absolutely, I tried everything. But I mean, I guess we didn't really lay that foundation about it. But I tried everything. I read every book. I've read every medical journal about every single thing about my condition. It didn't matter. I had emotional issues stuck in my body. Those emotional issues were tearing me up and destroying the cells in my body. Mental, spiritual, and emotional were all there. And the only way to heal the body was to clear those things out of me. And if I wasn't committed to doing that, then I was absolutely, sentenced to a very short lifetime. I was not going to make it for very long. So anyone who's facing physical issues or physical challenges, this is for you. This is something I would say you have to do. It's not a I want to or I should or maybe someday. Do this and don't flip and challenge the concepts. Don't sit there and struggle with it. Don't sit there and not trust it. It is real. It's absolutely 100% real. We're spiritual beings having a physical experience. And if your spiritual side of your life is messed up and it isn't working, then your physical body is going to manifest issues. And it's absolutely it'll be the end of who you are on this planet if you do not decide that this is something kind of work you need to do. I mean, every single healer out there says there's a mental, emotional, and spiritual side to health. The placebo effect says that when you take a sugar pill, if it heals you, it's because of your belief. That's not a physical thing. That's a spiritual thing. That's a mental thing. This isn't a placebo effect. This is a real thing. It's not like I just believed this and it happened. We dug down in. We went to the spirit world inside these regression therapies, and I got to see who I really was and what I was really holding on to, and I was able to let go of it. And when you let go of those things, all of a sudden, like a miracle, your body can heal.
And remember, you started reporting your results, positive results, and a lot of them after very first session. Do you remember that? And of course, after each one, you would report more and more and more.
Yeah, I remember the first session very vividly, and I remember actually having a lot of fear and anxiety about just the whole process of hypnosis and going, well, what's going to happen here? Am I going to get am I going to have a bunch of controlling beliefs implanted in my mind? Is this person, can I really trust this person? Blah, 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 all that stuff. All the junk, all the logic, right, coming up. And I remember through the whole session feeling amazing as we went deeper and deeper into hypnosis and feeling like, wow, my spirit is real, my soul is real. This isn't just some concept, because what I haven't really laid out the foundation of my spiritual side of my life. Before I got in contact with you, I felt spiritually dead. I felt like I didn't have a soul. I felt like that God had left my life and that I wasn't connected with him anymore. And that maybe even he wasn't there anymore. Maybe he just didn't exist, period. And to be reconnected with that, with who I really am, with knowing that there really is a soul inside my body that's controlling this thing, it's a whole new perspective. And now I can operate in a way that gives me power and empowers who I am, and I'm not controlled by the world and the way the world functions. So does that answer your question? I don't know if I answered the original question or not. But.
Oh yes, oh yes, thank you. Talking about spiritual side of everything, how about archangels?
Archangels have been amazing. I mean, the funny thing was I didn't really believe in them before. Now I do. I feel like I can communicate with them. I feel like they listen to me. I guess the one story I had was about the cell phone issue in New York, which I think I told you about. But I was in New York for a board meeting out there, and I lost my cell phone. I left it inside a taxi cab. I got up to my room and I realized, oh man, I left my cell phone. What am I going to do?
And let me mention something. I have to interrupt you. I know you cannot live without your cell phone. Everything you have is in your cell phone. So it must be real drama.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big deal. And I never felt any anxiety about it. That was a miracle, first of all. I went straight into action, and I started calling the taxi companies in New York, which, to be honest, that's the first time I'd ever been in New York. And so I called the companies. I said, sorry, it's 10 o'clock at night. Taxis won't be back till 5 o'clock in the morning. We can search the car then. I'm like, yeah, right. In New York, my phone's gone, if that's how long it's going to take. So then I immediately said, you know what? Let's use the spiritual side. Let's get the archangels involved. And that's something I never would have done before, never even would have thought of before. I said, I called on my archangel and I said, you know what? You're great at finding things. Can you please go find my cell phone? I need it right now. I need it immediately. I need you to go get it. So literally within 20 minutes, my wife gets a text. It says, hi, my name is John. I have your husband's cell phone. I can meet him tomorrow in the Chrysler building, which is literally a block and a half away from where I was. And, there's no way. I mean, that stuff doesn't happen, And that was complete intercession from the spirit world. The spirit world had to intercede and come and help me, because I'm in the physical world, and I made a mistake, and they had to fix that mistake for me. And I went and met an amazing man who, I was able to give him $20 for his honesty, and meet a great person for the great person he was. He was inspired to pick up my phone because he said he thought it was his phone. Well, that's amazing that he would go in there, sit there, and not notice the phone at the very end of his taxi ride. He says, oh, I thought it was my phone, so I picked it up. So then when he started playing with the phone, he realized it wasn't his, and he did the honest, right thing. So that's the best example I can give of how our archangels are real, and they really work. They're there to help us.
I didn't know about this story. You didn't tell me that one, but I definitely knew I had to ask about the archangels. Wow, that's so great. Amazing. Okay, and a few more things. We can talk forever. I really want to ask many more questions, but we will finish soon. However, I still want to ask about surprises and the depth of the work, because every time you would think, oh, that's already deep, right? And then we would go to the next process or next session, and it would be more powerful, and you'll say, wow, I didn't expect that to happen. Wow, it was so powerful. How would you comment on that?
Actually, my computer's losing power here. Let me plug in my computer real quick while I think about the answer for that.
Okay, sure.
No. Oh, you see me?
Yes,
okay.
Perfect.
So, I guess the surprises thing, it's a little bit of a difficult question to answer, but you would start the first session and you realize, okay, wow, this is really real. And then the sessions would go deeper and you go, wow, I didn't have any clue that this is how things were. This is how things work, and then we get to the very last session and I'm like completely blown away of seeing the spirit world, the life between life session, where I really saw who I am. I saw that the spirit, where I came from, and why I'm here, and the fact how eternal this whole experience really is. And it makes this experience not only deep and meaningful, but it makes it like a game. Life becomes a game now rather than this stressful, I got to get somewhere kind of a situation, or rat race or treadmill, if you will. And so now the perspective of the deep meaning that I've gotten from life, it's just so beautiful to experience life from that perspective now. And all the different growth that has happened in the 4-month period, which I would say in that 4-month period of time, I've gotten more growth than in my previous 34 years of life, easily. I might even say that I've got multiple lifetimes of growth in that 4-month period. And that, to me, you can't put a price on that. You can't say, oh, well, that works for Josh, that won't work for me. Or, hey, this guy needed it, I don't. That's just your logical brain telling you that your soul doesn't need any growth. And that's a complete lie, and you need to really check your gut and say, you know what, can I really get some benefits here? If I just trust my gut and I do it with faith, am I going to see some benefits? Absolutely, you're going to see benefits. You're going to see your life completely transformed. Maybe you're afraid of that. If you're afraid of that, great. That means you need to do it if you're afraid of it. Go ahead and be afraid of it. But step into that fear. Let that fear be there and do it anyway. I told that a lot of my people that I work with, let the fear be there, but you have to do it anyway. You don't get out of it just because you're afraid of it. We've been put here to have these lessons, to learn these lessons. The faster we learn the lessons, the faster we progress, the faster we see life transform and get better for us. So, the deepness of this, they say the greatest entrepreneurs and the greatest artists, the reason why they're so great is because they have a very, very deep level of thinking about who they are. If you want to be a great person, it's all about how deep you understand who you really are. John Lennon, Steve Jobs, you name it. They all had a very deep sense of who they were, or they wouldn't have been able to achieve the things they achieved. To them, it was easy. If you want life to get easy, do the work. Go deep. Dig deep, as deep as you can possibly go. And when the fear comes up, say, thank you, fear, and go right through it. Does that answer the question?
Oh, yes, thank you. I couldn't say it better as always. And what would be your advice to entrepreneurs? Because I hear a lot that people would say, well, I'm pretty enlightened, everything is great, and I just need some business learning, and that will be the do. What would you say? Do they need, and I know you already said a lot about it, but specifically to an entrepreneur, do they need this work if everything is great in business to have a deeper level or better business or high achievements, or they don't need it? And those who, of course, who struggle in business, do they need to address the mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects?
Yeah, whether life is good or not, you think it's good because your logical brain's telling you it's good, right? But it doesn't mean that it's good. It doesn't mean that your wife's happy. It doesn't mean that your kids are happy. It doesn't mean that your family or extended family is happy. It might mean that your business is doing well, but everybody knows somebody who their business is doing great, but their relationships are horrible. If you can't look at all aspects of your life as an entrepreneur, if all you can say is my business is great, but the rest of my life isn't, do the work. This work is for you. If you cannot say, and if you're an entrepreneur that's struggling, yeah, absolutely it's for you. It's a no-brainer, it's for you. But if you say all I need is some more business knowledge, This is the stuff that's hidden in life, right? These are hidden truths. This is hidden knowledge. The hidden knowledge is what we really need to transform. We don't need more book knowledge. Go read it. You can read all the books you want and try and apply the information. You get incremental changes in your business. You get tiny little incremental changes in who you are, but you never get transformational results. You don't transform and have lifetimes of experiences in 4 months. It doesn't happen. Nobody gets that. You don't get that. I've been to all the greatest seminars that have been constructed out there. I've been through EST and Landmark Education, and I've gotten transformations there, but not like this. I haven't gotten, my whole life feeling better about who I am, loving and accepting who I am, having that impact my entire family in a way that makes us all love each other more. That's great. You can have the greatest business in the world, but if you don't have that love in your family and you don't love yourself, it's worth nothing. I don't care how much money you make. I mean, I personally know guys who are worth hundreds of millions, 500 million, billions of dollars. I know them. And some of them hate themselves. Why would you want all that money, but you still hate yourself? Or you're still living in fear? Like I said, everybody in New York, they're trying to predict the economy. They're so worried about the political system and the economic system and that it might collapse. So what if it does? Who cares, right? If you know who you are, the economy doesn't matter. If you know who you are, the political system doesn't matter. If you know who you are, you can make it. All you can do is make an impact on the world with who you are. And if who you are is, I have to predict my business, I have to predict the economy, I have to this, I have to that, and you're based out of fear, your life is going to suck, period. I mean, that's all I can say, is yes, this is for every entrepreneur, whatever level you think you're at, this is for you. And I say that with absolute 100% confidence. 100% confidence. You cannot back away from this type of work. If you become a better person, guess what happens? Your business gets better. If you become a better person, your wife and kids are happier. If you become a better person, all your relationships get better. It's just the way it is, period. And so I'm very passionate about people doing this kind of work for their lives, because guess what? When your life gets better, maybe I don't directly participate in your life, but my life gets better when this planet's vibration raises. So yes, I have a responsibility, because of what I've been through this work with Irina, to get you to do it. And I get nothing for it other than I know that this world becomes better because you do. So if you're contemplating it, whatever, we never have the money, like Irina says, we never have the money to do these things. But find it. Go borrow it. Do whatever you got to do to get the money, do the work, dig deep, make it happen, and your life is going to transform. If it doesn't transform, give me a call. Let me know. I'd love to hear it, because I don't think I'll ever get that phone call.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. That's absolutely great to hear. And I hope people are listening and really, really paying attention, because this work, this spiritual transformation, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual, and that's the main thing, spiritual. We have to add it into our lives and really transform. Thank you. Anything else you would like to add? You've been absolutely amazing working with you and Joshua and knowing you. Oh, one more thing, actually. I do want to ask you one more thing, and then I would like you to add whatever you want to say, if anything, and we're going to stop, even though I don't want to. I could hear you forever. But, but everything was done on the phone, and people sometimes think, oh, if we're not face to face, then nothing will happen, especially hypnosis. Oh no, nothing will happen. And I want to mention that I do not do classical type of hypnosis. It's very different, right, Joshua? It's not regular one. You can say that if you know anything, but My thing is, everything was done on the phone, and we heard all this time how many blessings and results and changes you have your life transformed. So how was it for your experience on the phone?
The experience on the phone was fine because I mean, I think the vibration of your voice and who you are comes through, and that's the only thing that you need is, you know, your voice is coming through. It's the same as if you recorded your voice and, you know, sent it to me in an audio form, right? It's not any different, you know. So for someone to say I have to physically be in the room with you, um, I understand the desire because it's nice to be in the room with someone. It's maybe a little more comforting, but once you do that first session, that all goes away. All the anxiety or worry about I need to be in the room is gone, and you just say, no, this works. I know it works. Let's do the next. You know, I was ready to do the next session the next day after we did the first one. I was like, yeah, let's do this because, you know, you just see how amazing you feel. You know, you see how connected you got to the spirit world, and you're like, wow, I want that connection again, and I want that connection to get permanent. You know. And it takes a long time, but you have to, you know, not a long time, I guess 4 months isn't a long time, but you can really get to where that connection is permanent. And you know, we did that last session, I really got that amazing insight about the soul-body connection and how, you know, we really are avatars. If you really think about the movie Avatar, that's what this is. You know, we are inside these bodies controlling them. They don't control us. You know, and that's, you know, if you really want to get to that level where you know you control this body and it does not control you, you know, then you have the power to do anything, right? You can do whatever you want rather than, oh, I have to go smoke a cigarette, or oh, I have to go eat this food because I'm craving it, or I have to, you know, I'm angry so I got to go punch the wall. You know you control this avatar and you can make it do whatever you want it to do. And from that perspective, rather than just seeing it from the physical world perspective, it's just an amazing transformation to have happen in your life. And I don't know of any other thing you can do. I mean, maybe you can meditate for 20 years and get this, you know. But I know people who've done that and got all kinds of great insights and transformation, but I don't think they've gotten what I got. You know, I don't think they've gotten, and not in 4 months. You know, I've meditated for 6 years before this and not gotten anywhere near that. I think it would have taken me another 30 years to even get 20% of what I got in 4 months. You know? So, absolutely, I'm very passionate, because the reason I'm so passionate about telling people to do this is because that's my life's mission. If it's going to raise your vibration, guess what it's doing? It's fulfilling my life's mission. So that's why you hear the passion in my voice come out when I say that, because I have to do that. I have to communicate to you strongly that you've got to do this, because it's going to make the world a better place. Not just make the world a better place, it's going to bring the message of love to the planet, which is my mission. So any way I can fulfill my mission by strongly encouraging you to do this, or telling you that you have to do this, we really do. If you love yourself, if you love your kids, you love your wife, you love anyone on this planet, you need to do this work, because they deserve to be around a person that has a high vibration. They deserve to be around a person who knows their life's mission. You know, and I deserve it too. I deserve to be around people like that. And if you really feel that way about yourself, you really love yourself and love people around, you need to do this work. And that's really what I can say is, help me fulfill my life's mission, do the work with Irina, let me know your results, because I would love to hear them. I'd love to hear the feedback.
And continue fulfilling your life mission by answering one more question, please. I'm sorry, I promise one more, and we will finish and I come up with another one, but I just cannot resist. So continue speaking with the passion. That shows, and it shows the power. One more question. That's the last one. I don't promise, but I think it's the last one. If when you came to me and you didn't know what I was offering, you only knew that, okay, I could do life between lives and see what will happen, right? So you were actually asking for 2 sessions period, but we ended up, you ended up being my long-term client, and that's what the results you got. And I told you, remember, and I said, well, if you think in 2 sessions you will be getting great, you would get great results, well, think again. It took you so many years to develop your problems. How could you expect in 2 sessions change anything, right? And so my question is, if you just had 2 sessions, let it be life between lives experience that usually recommended 2 sessions without the work that you've done, the preparation, these 4 months of really intensive digging inside and clearing you on all levels and adding spiritual component, when you got to the session finally, the jewel, I call it, the crown jewel of everything, and it's not therapy anymore, it's an award for all the hard work you've done, and you even had a little bit of resistance even getting to the gate, right? So what would be your experience if you didn't have this work and just agreed to 2 sessions only? What would it look like?
Well, I guess my theoretical, understanding would be that I probably would have resisted it 10 times harder, and I wouldn't have had a good experience doing the life between life session, because that was something I think you have to be eased into it, kind of like you can't jump into a hot bath of water without, slowly, getting into it at a temperature you can handle, and then slowly turning up the temperature, it's just, you're just going to jump right back out and not want to be in the bath, right? So that's the way I would describe it, is it's too hot, the water's too hot, you can't get in, if you do that, then you're going to get burned, basically. Your vibration doesn't match that, so you've got to slowly raise your vibration so that you can handle the amazing experience of life between life, because it's a very, very high vibrational experience, I would say. And you want to jump in that hot water, go for it, but it's going to burn you, and I say that with absolute confidence because I experienced it. I've gone through it and said, hey, if you would have jumped in that water before, it would have burned you, and you would have had a bad experience, and gone away saying, wow, this stuff doesn't work. But you got to trust. When I came to you, I asked you, I told me what you suggested, and my logical mind struggled with it for a bit, and you went through your sales process, but it wasn't really a sales process. It was a spiritual, conviction. And you said, hey, you want this kind of results. You told me you want these kinds of results. You got to trust me because I've been through this. You've got to trust that I'm going to give you the best pathway to the results that you want. It's not about, it's not about how much money I make off of this, because I really can say, Irina, you don't get paid anywhere near enough for the amount of work that you did with me. You didn't charge enough, and I'd say that, so if someone looks at it and says, well, you're charging a lot of money for this because I don't really know what kind of results I'm going to get. Well, the results are up to you, right? If you don't do the work, you're not going to get results. So if you come across fear and you back down, it's your fault that you didn't get results. This is all about you. Irina is here. She's committed. She shows up on time. She gets it done. She's there. She's committed to making you get the results that you need to get. But it's all on you to do the work. And for someone to say, yeah, I need these 2 sessions and I'm going to do life between life and then I'm done, that's just the logical mind saying, this is what I think. Well, you got to trust someone who's an expert, And you might not think that there's experts out there on this subject. There is. Irina's an expert. You need to trust that she's going to show you the best path. And trust that whatever cost is involved in that monetarily, you need to find the money to pay for it. You need to find it out. Because I guarantee you, once you start working with her, you're going to realize that she's so committed to what she does that she doesn't charge enough for it. I know Irina is such a dynamic person that eventually she's going to get to a place where she's got so much demand on her time that she can charge 5 times what she charged me for this and get it. Because my testimonial is going to get out there and people are going to hear it, and it's going to be a powerful testimonial, I know. And that's going to create a higher demand for her work. So you better jump on board while her services don't cost that much. It's cheap now. It'll be expensive later. So don't wait.
Thank you. And well, everything is relative, right? Cheap is relative. You did pay a lot of money, but thank you so much for acknowledging the value of this work and value of transformation that happened to you and happens to many other people. And that just, I couldn't say it better. I couldn't even, now I'm going to show it to members of a mastermind I'm a member of, so they could get inspired as well, because we are learning the process of being in service and offer our service and also be and value it. And it just powerful testimonial to that. I didn't even mean it. I didn't even expect it. So thank you for that. And yes, it's an absolutely powerful testimonial and powerful account of everything that we've been through together during our therapeutic relationship during these 4 months. And I'm really, really grateful for you to have done all this work, to have this life, your life changed. You changed my life by mere even doing the work and having it and really, really giving it 100% or 200%, everything you had, you gave it to this work, and that shows. So we're about to finish. Anything else? Because before I start asking more questions, so anything else you want to add, or if not, we're saying goodbye. So your choice right now.
Yeah, just to continue to fulfill on my life's mission, Irina, I can genuinely say I love you, and I know that we were meant to meet each other. And anyone listening to this, I genuinely have a love for you as well, and I hope that you can feel it and know that that would never come out of my mouth 4 months ago. So I love you guys. I appreciate all this time that I've been able to spend with you. I appreciate the Google Hangout, and I hope that this message transforms other people's lives, as it's transformed mine. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Everybody, have a wonderful day. And before you go away, I would like to give you a gift. If you would like to start manifesting your heart desires and really look and see what it is that you want, what it is that you desire, and go get it and really create it, I'm inviting you to go to dreammanifestingformula.com and claim a free video training, 7-day video training, Dream Manifesting Formula, the guide, step-by-step guide to achieving your dreams, big and small. And when you register, you would get instant access, and I know you will enjoy it. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, everybody, until we meet again. Goodbye.